All right, traders. So we're live. This is Thursday morning open mic. It's going to be a new thing that we're going to do on the channel. I'm going to try to keep it going. It's just going to be an open forum. You can pop on if you'd like. We use StreamYard, and I host that on my end. So if you want to be part of the conversation, then hit me up and we'll get you on. Just going to talk about new books that came out yesterday, some cool things that I got from the guys over at Hive Comics. I'm going to try to keep these to an hour at the most. Depends on how much interaction. It might just be me rambling for an hour. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. So if you're out there in the chat, of course, I am kind of new to all this, all of the streaming and all that. So you can hit me up, I believe, in the chat if you want to join, or shoot me a message. Most of you have my my Facebook page. Shoot me a message there if you'd like, and we can bring you on. We can talk about what you picked up yesterday, that type of thing. So I wanted to show off some goodies that Jonathan over at Hive Comics brought me. I do all the pressing for Hive Comics, and I really dig what they're doing over there. They do exclusives. If you don't know who these guys are, pretty much all exclusive variants. They do get the ratios because they sell so many books, so they'll make those available. This is their Ice Cream Man. Something's Killing the Children. #1 8th printing. Hey, it's 9.8 for $64.99. That's not a bad deal. Their Silver Coin. That's sick. Jart Don. I believe this is his first cover, and it's limited to 500. They do small batch print runs to help increase the value of the books and sell them pretty cheap. So Silver Coin #1, I mean, that's been a super hot book yesterday. We'll take a real quick look at that. I like to use, of course, coverprice.com. So it came out yesterday. We're still at cover price. They do have the Hive Comics on there. So as soon as we start getting data on that, I believe that's going to be a hot variant. This Virgin should be a pretty hot variant. That one's pretty cool, actually. I like that one. But $15 for a 500 print run limited. I mean, obviously that's a killer deal. They still have some of their Berserkers. Look at that. That's crazy. So raw, they're selling for $20. I've been seeing these selling raw on eBay in the $30 to $40 range. I'm surprised they have any left. So anyway, so yeah, that's hive-comics.com. Their Cult of Dracula stuff, the Maria Key work, I'll put that over there. I don't think that's quite YouTube friendly. But the Cult of Dracula stuff with Maria Key, if you don't know this artist, she's gonna explode. Maria Key is just phenomenal. That is Cult of Dracula 2. That's the Hive exclusive. And they're working with her on quite a few books, I believe, over the course of the next year or so. You'll be seeing a lot more from her. Obviously, her line work is impeccable. I love her. And she does her coloring, too. So, like, shading is shading, but her coloring, her use of color is phenomenal. Got the blood spatters down here coming off the hands. I mean, that's pretty spectacular. So I'm a real big fan of Maria Key's work so far, everything that we've seen. So anyway, that's Hive Comics. So I do pressing for them, and the other day they brought me a few books, kind of AOKs, and let's see what we got here. So I got these. Proctor Valley Road, #1. This is the Hive Comics exclusive. So that one's pretty killer. That bison and jackal. So I haven't had a chance to read this. I haven't even bagged and boarded these yet. I'm going to run them through the press, get them nice and sharp. I mean, there's some good looking books there. Proctor Valley Road. This one I was really psyched for. Love the book. Midnight Western Theater. This again, the Hive Comics exclusive. Like, that's awesome. I got a few of those. And then we've got the one, I believe it's a 1 in 15. I Breed the Body. Now, they did an exclusive with I Breed the Body. The name escapes me on the artist at the moment, but they did a killer exclusive to this book. And I had one sitting over here, and I don't know where it ran off to. But their exclusive on I Breed the Body is probably the best cover for #1. But this is the 115, because they do, so many books, 500, whatever. They get all the 1 in 15, 110. So he hooked me up with those. Let's see if I can bring that up. There we go. That's right. It was a Hess variant. So this is their I Breed the Body #1. The Hess variant. This is a Hive Comics exclusive. I mean, this is just killer. That's like that early 80s Aliens artwork, the concept artwork for Alien. So very cool to me. I got one of these. I'm fixing to ship it off to get it slabbed, because it's just a great piece of art. I mean, it's a great artwork piece. I know this is one. Hess is somebody that Comics with Bueller works with a lot. So, oh, James, yeah, thank you, Brad Hess. So Bueller had this on there, and we sent him a copy. He loves it. So that's really a killer cover. So they hooked me up with that, and then also got a nice fat stack, some Berserker #1 variants. Again, the Hive comic. Yeah, very Geiger-esque. Yeah. So this is the Berserker cover. Of course, I got, a nice little stack of those from them. The guy's always taking care of me. You can get all of these books at hive-comics.com. Go over there and grab them, because obviously these aren't going to be going at that price. I'll probably be getting 40. I might slab a couple of them. And I've got a real nice copy for the personal collection. And then, just as an A-OK, John handed me We Live #1. Like, the guys are fantastic over there. They take really good care of me. They take good care of their community. If you're not following them, follow them on Facebook, hit up their website. They're always coming out with cool stuff. They've got Department of Truth 8, maybe 9, 8. I think it's 8. But their Department of Truth cover drops this Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. They've been running every Saturday. They've been dropping a new book, and you can see their new books on our final order cutoff video to see what new books they have coming out. So We Live #1, pretty stoked about that one. That's going to be, I believe it's already optioned, and they're talking about a whole superhero world. So that's going to go. You always hook me up. And that reminds me, I do have, James is in the chat. So James, I do have your books complete, those Cantus, and I can't wait for you to see that #1. That Canto #1 turned out so nice. I think I was able to get probably the best price I've ever had on that book so far. All right. We'll take a look at some books I picked up yesterday. Haven't even taken them out of the bag yet. So, a couple that I'm following right now. I like the Sumerian. I've been a big Conan guy since I was way little. My mom used to hand me the bulk paperback novel. So I'm following this one. Great story, fantastic artwork. They're taking it directly from the original Howard source material. That is the 1 in 10. I don't look at ratio variants from a personal collection. I just grab them because they're cool. So that one's super cool. Also new, I couldn't wait to get home. I was going to try to read it last night and didn't get the chance. And this is on the reading list this afternoon. ENIAC #2. So if you've read ENIAC, the story's fantastic. The interior art is really, really nice. Cover 1 was really, really nice. This cover, I'm not real crazy about it. The faces are a little distorted to me. Like you've got these two just badass chicks walking around, blowing things up, doing their thing, and I don't think this cover did justice to that book. So a little disappointed in the cover, but I looked at the interiors. The interiors look great, and I'm excited. I'm probably going to pick up a not second printing to keep as a reader copy. So I grabbed that one, and also from Bad Idea, Tankers #1. And I believe these are both first printings. I don't know how to, I'm sure it's the difference between the color of the font. I think white is not, or is first print, and everything else is not first print. So, of course, Bad Idea, only available at certain shops, and we all know the story. I'm not going to get into the story about whether they're the way they do business is good or bad or whatever. I don't really have a horse in that race. I'm in it to read the books, and the books are fantastic. So, if you don't have a Bad Idea shop in your area, I know that my local shop, my local Bad Idea shop, does sell over the internet. All the rules apply. You can only buy one. Their cover price, you know, the whole spiel that goes along with Bad Idea. So you can get one. You can get one of each. And I believe you'll have to contact them to make sure, but I believe you can get a first print and a not first print for reading. So if they have first print left, because I'm sure they're sold out by now. But you can contact them. It's nerdstoreutah.com, and you can order Bad Idea books. And the guys up there, Roger and Charles, are really good about making sure that you get books at a fair price, following the rules, the whole thing. So pick those up. Those are pretty cool. And in my second bag, so I was in, of course, Black Cat Comics yesterday. Always my first stop on New Comic Book Day. None of my books from Black Cats had bags. Having a hard time getting bags. I was able to pick up a few goodies. All right, we've got King Black, issue #5. That's the end of your King in Black run. So I picked that up. We're going to send that out to a customer. Silver coin. There's that super cool cover. Kind of it reminds me of a 70s like horror Exorcist or Omen type. I mean, I don't think it's an actual homage, but kind of has that feel about it. Really dig that. Their A cover. And if you haven't read Silver Coin, this is a killer story. It's a killer concept. They've got a silver coin, and the anthology, the stories revolve around this coin and who finds it and who picks it up and how it affects their lives. So kind of a really cool concept. Chip Zdarsky's done a great job with that one. I'm trying to get all the covers I could on that one. Of course, the big one, Geiger. I was looking this one up just a few minutes ago, and I couldn't believe. Let's see if I can bring it up here. Geiger #1. So Geiger #1, we're seeing. We've already seen a high sell of $14. It came out yesterday. We've already seen a high sell of $14. Average on this book is $11.98. That's for this cover, the A cover. And let's see, second print 1 in 25 is already up to $22. That's just insane. The Larson is at $4.77. The Fabak, that is a really cool cover on that book too. High sell 16, and average on that one is $7.87. Not bad. We've got the Thank You. I believe that's a 1 per store. Black and white. I'm not a big fan of sketch variants. It's just kind of not my thing. So it is what it is. That one's $60. Average of 43. I think they could do better with stuff like that. I think that your thank yous, in my opinion, they do the sketch covers because it's kind of the fad at the moment. So I'm not a real big fan of them. I think if they're going to do a thank you to stores and to the community, they should really put a little more thought into it than just wiping all the color off the cover of a book. It's just my opinion. So Geiger, of course, that Larson cover, I think that's the cool one. I really dig that one. I think that's one that's going in the PC. Of course, I read Vampire the Masquerade. I've been into Vampire forever. The covers on this have been killer. I was a little disappointed. They went from 3 covers. They had these really cool foil covers for the first 4 or 5. And then they just kind of died off with that, which was a little disappointing. But what can you do, right? We've got Venom #34. Very cool cover on that one. Now, I believe your reading order is Planet of the Symbiotes, then Venom, and then, of course, King in Black #5. That's order they want you to read in. So, got some High Republic. That's going out to a customer. Now this is the one though. Look at that. That's so cool. I dig the way he does those retro covers. I'm not sure why he took to doing that, but it's super cool. And as divisive as a figure as Larson is in the community, I just dig him. I dig his work. I dig his creativity. I don't pay attention to the rest. Same with Liefeld. Really love his work. I'm not going to get involved with his, thoughts or how he thinks that we should be running comic books. I just support him for the work. So really dig what Larson's doing that. He's doing that with the Savage Dragon too. He'll do throwback covers every issue on a Savage Dragon. Let's take a look at Nottingham. I'm really curious how this book is holding up in the market. I know the shops have been selling out, and it would help if I spelled it correctly. Nottingham #2. Well, that's insane. So, Nottingham number 2, a sale on the 7th. So that's a sale on yesterday for $60 for this book. That has got to be an outlier. We'll look at the sales data. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 cells. Wow. All of them $30 or more. Like, I don't understand how that's even possible. See what eBay's telling us. And that's kind of the drawback to using a service like any of the services that do comic pricing online is they take averages and it's automated, so you don't always get the most accurate information. But that's insane. Look at that. Low print run April 8th for $20. April 8th for 44, April 8th for 50, April 8th for 55, 45, 44, 60. I guess we got a legit price on it. That just seems really insane to me, doesn't it? Wow. I mean, I'm glad I grabbed one. I actually grabbed a couple, but all right. And the big hype this week, of course, Magic the Gathering. And we'll take a look at that one real quick. Yeah, that's insane. Like, how is that book $50 already? That's crazy. All right. Magic the Gathering, issue number 1. That's not even the same book. You know, that's not Magic the Gathering. That's just Magic. Let's try that. There we go. Now, of course, the big hype about this book was that it was sold out at distribution. So they're already into second printings on it. No real data to speak of. Average raw sale, one sale on eBay. I've seen more than that. So there's been quite a few sales on this book. But the ones that I've seen have all been pretty much cover price. I mean, so I had this discussion with Greg up at the comic shop. April 8th, $50. Like, that has got to be an outlier. We've got a $4 sale and then right up to $50. No, suspicious to me. $30, $50, and these are April 8th, April 8th. Wow. So the interesting thing, I had the conversation with Greg up at Black Cat yesterday about this book, and it seems what happens is every time a Magic Gathering book comes out, it sells really, really hot at first, and then kind of pitters off. So we get a lot of Magic players that will crossover. They'll come over to comics and buy these books. Now, I'm not here to judge how anybody collects or what anybody does, but when they buy these books, most of them, I'm not going to say all of them, but most of them are buying them because they are always packaged with a Magic the Gathering card for the game. And that's why these books are sold. This book, however, was not. It's just a book. That's all you get. There's nothing inside. It's not polybagged. So I think that was a driving force, a large driving force. And of course, Boom Studios is a name, right? That doesn't hurt at all. But I think what really drove that book initially was these one, you've got people out there thinking, oh, there's going to be a card because there's always been one. Well, that's not the case. But more so, you've got speculators seeing the trend on Magic books that they do sell so quick, thinking that it's a hot title and hot property, that they're jumping on it, not knowing why it's a hot seller and hot property. So I think that you'll see this book mellow a lot. That's my personal opinion. I bought it because I wanted to give it a run. I'm an old Magic player from years ago, so I was going to kind of give it a run and see what's going on in that universe nowadays. So we'll just kind of see where that one goes. I'm a little surprised, honestly, that it's showing $50 sales. I don't think that's sustainable for that book. Hopefully it will. Hopefully we'll see that kind of mellow out. Not $50. I think that's overinflated, but if that one mellows into a $15 to $20 range for an A cover on down the road, it would be super cool to see something like that happen. Because it is such a rich world and there's a lot of stories to be told there. So it gives them an opportunity to do that. And I did notice that the $50 sell, this $50 sell is an ash can. So I can see an ash can being more for sure. There's another ash can. So apparently the ash can's going for 40, 50 bucks. Okay, that makes more sense. So I feel a lot better about it. You get in down to the actual books, you're looking at $5, $6. Something more reasonable. So a lot of that hype is not translating to sales on New Comic Book Day, on drop day. So that's encouraging. Next, we got H.H. Holmes. So I used to live in Illinois. We were about 2.5 hours away from Chicago, and we drove up to the H.H. Holmes site, and it's a story that, as a kind of twisted individual, kind of it interests me, especially the Holmes Jack the Ripper. And this is real life stuff. This is in the book. I like that tie-in. It's really cool. So I'm really curious to see where that goes. Of course, Zenoscope always has beautiful covers and artwork. So this is actually going to be the first Zenoscope book I've ever read. So I'm going to read this one. If I like it, I might get into Robin Hood. That one looks interesting to me. I don't know about Grimm, but I know that this is one my LCS owner, Greg, he's really big on Zenoscope. So, and then I got some variants. Normally these get grabbed out from under me, especially if I'm standing in the comic shop with James or Jonathan. No, I'm kidding. They always hook me up, so I'm not going to complain. So we got Star Wars High Republic #3. You see right there, paid $8 for it. Greg didn't take his little tag out. So that's the RI, which I believe is a 1 in 10. That's High Republic Adventures. This is the Magic Gathering, 1 in 25. All right. Yeah. Magic Gathering #1. This is the one, I believe it's a 1 in 25. Of course, I bought that one for this with the sole intent of resale. And we'll have that available at some point when I see the price worth dropping that. And then the last one we have from yesterday, Noctera #2, 1 in 10. I haven't read Noctera yet. Kenny is sold on it. So if you watch our, it came from the comic shop video that dropped last week. Kenny is huge on this book, and I told him I was going to read it so we can talk about it next time. So that's what I picked up this week. So if you guys want to drop a message, see what everybody else picked up, or if you would like to join the chat. I'm not sure if this works. We can try that. So there's the StreamYard link if anybody wants to join the chat. I will, I guess, just ramble on for a little while. My hope is that we get enough. I mean, I am aware of where my subs are right now, so we're hoping that subs will get to the point where we can make this a regular Thursday thing. You can show your books. We can discuss what's come out and crazy stuff like some of these that we're seeing. That Nottingham, don't know what's going on there. If anybody's got some insight on the Nottingham thing, let me know. I mean, King Arthurian legend is really interesting to me. So it's a book that I think is worth reading, but I'm not so sure it's worth that, $20, $40 day of price. Just really bizarre to me. Just popped back onto eBay to see if maybe it was an ash can too, but it's not. I mean, that's the book. Number 2, knocking it out of the park. So this is kind of telling as well. So you've got number 2 selling day of for $50, and you got number 1 first printing selling for $60. So not much of a difference. And normally we see a huge inversion there, where your number 1, if it's selling at $60, I would expect number 2, if it has a comparable print run, comparable meaning in ratio to the first print or first book, you would expect, or I would expect that to be $20, $25 maybe. So kind of an interesting take there. And let's see, how about we pop over to do that. And just take a peek real quick. Well, I was checking to see if maybe Midtown is carrying Nottingham. It doesn't look like they even have it on their website. Yeah, so Midtown doesn't even have it available. Go to TFAW. They got number 1, first print, or second print. And number 2, second print. So, I don't know. It looks like it's going to be a hot book. I honestly couldn't tell you enough about it to kind of even begin to figure out why that is. Let's see. What else came out this week? Beast of Burdens. That looks kind of interesting. Dead Dog Bite. I've been reading the God of War stuff. So Batman. So I picked up my Batmans on Tuesday. This cover has been just spectacular. Like Batman with 3 batarangs. That one's pretty cool. I mean, of course, it's Matina. What else do you expect? Missed out on my 1 in 25. Kind of wanted that one. Oh yeah, Green Lantern. So if anybody's read Green Lantern, let us know how it is. There's been a lot of talk. I was excited for this. Like John Stewart's my Lantern, right? So really into John Stewart, really into that Green Lantern mythos. He seems to be more where Hal Jordan is the Green Lantern of Earth. John Stewart seems to be more cosmic in scope to me, and his storylines seem to have been more cosmic in scope. Um, which I'm really excited to see this title because I'm hoping that we will see John Stewart in the new HBO show. I would love to see that lantern being represented in DC's cosmic scale. I think DC did the cosmic scale better than Marvel, and it's funny to me because they try to stay in their film universe, try to stay more grounded to Earth, whereas Marvel seems to want to go cosmic with Guardians of the Galaxy and sending the Avengers into space and Thanos and everything along with that. So it's just kind of the opposite for me. So I'm hoping that the HBO show will have the John Stewart Lantern, so we can see more of him and kind of the Guardians and what the lanterns mean and all of that. So I'm pretty excited about that. Um, I was lucky enough. Greg snagged this cover for me. That thing is just beautiful. Of course, Midtown prices are a bit high. I think value wise, we're right around 20-25 on that cover, but it's going in the personal collection, so price don't count there. Um, Next Batman, Next Batman. I like the concept. I like the character. Hey Bob, how's it going? Glad to see Bob showing up. Um, Wonder Woman came out. Suicide Squad. A lot of people excited for that. Issue number 2. Issue number 3. They're gonna have a kind of a team up with the Teen Titans Academy. So we're gonna see Red X right on the cover. Hey Greg, how's it going, buddy? Just talking about you. Hooking me up with that John Stewart Green Lantern. So Suicide Squad, that one's pretty cool. Swamp Thing, I'm excited to read that. I really like the Future State. I know it's only 2 books, but I really dug the Future State, kind of the future of where we're going, the environmental impact of the characters and that type of thing. I think it's a good concept where they're going with that. A lot of trade paperbacks. Death Metal trade paperback came out. It was actually really good. I really like the story where they're going with Green Lantern. I get the criticism about the art. Art didn't bother me. It was a little different, um, but I was okay with it. But the story was fantastic. I really dug it, and I'm really excited. Like I was saying earlier, I'm really hoping that they get John Stewart into the HBO show. I'd like to see that cosmic scale DC universe unfold. And let's face it, Redeemed Green Lantern, one of the most powerful, underrated characters in DC comics today. And he's not always been like that. So hopefully they can redeem that character. James Bond, I'm a huge Bond fan, and I'm hoping to read these to pick these up in a quarter bin someplace, to be honest. I don't want to spend $4 a piece for them. Don't really want to spend $2 a piece, but if I can find them for $1 a piece, I'll read some James Bond. I've been reading James Bond as long as I've been reading Conan. We got Red Sonja this week. I don't even know why I'm doing this. We're going to go to... That's not right, Greg. That must be the California. This is how old people navigate the YouTube, just so y'all know. I agree. They do need a Batman hit, and I'm hoping that Batman Detective is going to be that hit. But really, Tinian's run on Batman's been fantastic. They need to just go back to basics. I mean, that's really where we're at with Batman. They're going to dilute that character and the Bat family so much that it's going to start being counterproductive, I think. So I like to see. I like the new Bat title that has Grifter. I'm a Grifter fan, so I like that. Name escapes me off the top of my head, but I like seeing the Grifter. I like seeing Nightwing. Would like to see all of that interaction, but I don't think we need a new Bat title. I think they need to redeem some of the Bat titles they have. I think that would be the way to go there. Let's see what we got. Most popular products. I thought we had a new comic book day on here. I will dig through all that real quick, see if I can find it. Because we want to support our local comic shops, right? New releases 4/7. Let's see. Akrisuko, Avengers, Batman. So Batman 107, I believe, has a new character in it, or a possible new character in it. Blade Runner, I've been picking all those up. Haven't read any of the Blade Runner yet, so we're waiting to get a few of those. Sumerian, of course, we all know I'm reading that. Conan, so I haven't bought any new Conan. I'm working on my classic Marvel run, and I got a whole stack of Conan over there to go in the box. But Dead Dog Fight, Deep Beyond, the Dracula book looked really good. Well, I know that DC has seen a lot of drop in sales, um, and maybe we can get Greg to chime in on this. Have we seen a considerable drop in sales in DC books? And I think if we're going to discuss that topic, you have to look at not future state, because there were a lot of us that I didn't pick up. I picked up Swamp Thing. I read through the next Batman stuff. I kind of skimmed through most of the rest of it, but if I was a collector just going to collect comic books, going to the LCS to pick up books, I don't think I would have a single DC book on the list. Maybe Swamp Thing. And I know a lot of people are like that. I know a lot of DC diehards that have just dropped DC because the stories are starting to get too convoluted again. Um, we kill off the multiverse to simplify things, then we bring it back. So this is from Greg. This is Greg, my LCS owner. Pretty significant drops. So, and I think that's your the future state thing. People weren't invested in those characters, and even though there were some great characters, don't get me wrong. I like the future state Batman. I love um, that whole thing. But God, a little future state, which made no sense. It's on new. I mean that obviously has a lot to do with it. You know, I'm an old guy and I'm cheap. I I I hate to sound like Bueller, but I'm an old guy and I'm cheap. You know, I'll pay good money for a good story, and at least we've got quality with DC. Um, I think that um, pricing yourself as high as DC has, the biggest complaint about DC pricing that I've heard, the raise in price is they gave me more content, but it's more content I didn't want. So they made the books bigger, they're charging more, and that's their excuse for charging more. So proportionately, they pay an extra nickel to produce a few extra pages, and they sell it for an extra $2. And it's content that we didn't ask for, that we didn't want. Um, I'm okay with a Catwoman story in the back of Batman, but do I need it? Not really. So Greg says too confusing, too much. I would agree with that. Future State was very confusing because they didn't. Um, Future State didn't explain. They gave us no background. They just threw us in the future into characters that we weren't invested in, and expected us to care as much about the new Batman that we as we did the original one. Um, the new Wonder Woman, Flora, I can't remember her name, but the new Wonder Woman, beautiful concept, beautiful design. My problem is I don't care. Diana's my Wonder Woman. Diana's always been my Wonder Woman. I don't think you can have a Wonder Woman that isn't Diana. Now, do I think we have room for another Wonder Woman like character in that story, in those books, possibly in the future getting her own books? Absolutely. And from what I hear about the character, the character design, it's possible with that character. But to take away my Wonder Woman, and who has been Wonder Woman for nearly 100 years, I don't think that's the way. Just introduce organically this new character, and that's the thing. If you're going to give me something I want, right? It's pretty simple. And there's a lot of um, comic creators giving us content that they want us to want. And I think she had some precedence in the book. I mean, there was at least one story somewhere retcon someplace that had her in it. I don't read Wonder Woman. I haven't read Wonder Woman on a regular basis since I was, you know, 14. So it's been a year or two, to say the least. But from what I understand, the books, I got a friend that reads Wonder Woman, and where they're taking it now, um, and introducing her into the narrative, the way that they're doing it now is really kind of cool. So we'll see. That might actually work out in their favor in the end. But it's gonna take a while. It takes a while for us to care about new characters. They can't just throw a book at us and expect us to really care. Um, Perfect example. Wolverine didn't come out with Wolverine #1. Like if they would have given us back in the late '70s, early '80s, if they would have just published Wolverine #1 and said, "Here's a new character that you love. We know you love it. We're going to give you all the Wolverine you want." we probably wouldn't care. But Wolverine came out fighting the Hulk. We cared about the Hulk. We knew who the Hulk was. So to establish a new, like, badass character that was going toe to toe with the Hulk, and then give him his own book, and then build that character and that mythology and everything around it. That's the way to build a character and build a lasting something. Even as much as I love Punchline, uh, she seems kind of forced on us. And I'm hoping that they can slow the roll a little bit and introduce more of the mythology of these characters in a way that makes us care about them, so we can move forward with the characters and let them grow with our understanding of them. And that's kind of where I'm at on pretty much all the future state stuff. Um, yeah, so that's just kind of my thought. Um, see what else we got. Far Sector, kind of a dud for me. Far Sector was. Firefly, everybody knows I'm on Firefly. Brand new verse, super cool, very cool storyline. Um, Absolutely love where they're going with that. Geiger, I think that's going to be a huge one. I mean, obviously, I think that the way that um, the cells have been reflecting, like, it's not blowing up to that $50 point. It's a little bit higher than other books that were released this week, but people are definitely interested. Of course, we showed the H.H. Holmes stuff. Mortal Hulk at 45. We got 5 books left in that run. A lot of these Liefeld variants. Criminal Insanity. I think that one. I think 8's the last one on that. It was originally solicited as a 12 issue, and I think they cut it back to 8. King in Black 5, we're at the end of that run. Magic Gathering we talked about. Noctera. 7 Secrets, and I'm going to have to find somebody that's into 7 Secrets. That kind of sounds interesting to me. I haven't picked any of them up, but it sounds good for some reason. Silver Coin, highly recommend. Go out and grab that. Almost pick of the week. Maybe a close second. It's a very close second. Silver Coin's a great book. Geiger, definitely pick of the week. Cool story. High Republic, Suicide Squad, Swamp Thing, Transformer. There's your Beast Wars, TM. Venom. Vlad Dracul was a super cool read. The artwork to me was really cool. I read this series in floppies. Of course, it's out in trade paperback now. Go grab one at your LCS. Great story. Walking Dead Deluxe, and of course, Warhammer 40K Marnius Calendar. I hope that we're going to see a lot more of those Warhammer 40K books. Kind of a niche market, I know, but big. Well, we're going to try. Get some people in here chatting about comics on Thursday. Just missed a good conversation about some views on DC and how DC is doing in the market right now. So anyway, didn't get anybody to join me today. And in the future, if anybody wants to join, like I said, I'm hosting on StreamYard on my end. Feel free to join, talk about books. I'm going to get rolling. I'm going to head down to the go to the mall, maybe look at some Legos. I've been kind of getting into Star Wars Legos lately, so we're going to kind of check that out. Travis, Comics with Bueller. If you're not following Comics with Bueller, please do so. Of course, I think pretty much everybody subbed up to him already. I think the entirety of the comics community subbed up to this guy. Um, very informative, spectacular shows every Monday with Bob. You know, you must watch comic book content. Sleeper Reader's got some great stuff. I follow him, of course. You know, let's see what we can do to keep this in the family and keep this hobby going. So I'm gonna head out, and we'll see you next week at the same time. I'm gonna do these until um, the world ends, or you know, this thing blows up and we can have one of those large comic chats every Thursday. So uh, if you have any questions, shoot me a message. You can find me at theroguetrader.com. We're on Facebook. We got a nice group there, Comic Book Collectors Corner, and where it's not just sales, we talk about books. Remember to support your local comic shop. Until next time, traders.